Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Heroic Molten Core was broken for the first week, but Blizzard did manage to fix it and now it is fully playable still for a few more days. So let's go take a look at another full run through Heroic Molten Core in the open queue. I've used some new comps, some fine-tuned comps, a couple of old ones, so first of all, I have Lucifron with Anub'arak. This time I switched Skeleton Party out of the Anub'arak army and put in the Whelpeks, because Whelpeks are so good against the heroic version of the Dominator, so I really like that change. Then Magmadar, I didn't want to use Doomhammer here. I usually use Doomhammer, I like Doomhammer here a lot, but I want to do it with a different leader. I still did the Starfall plan, this time I did it with Ysera. Ysera may be not the best option because it can really mess up your Starfall rotation, but overall I did like it quite a lot, it went quite well. Then Gehennas and Shazzrah, this time I did it with Malfurion, because those Malfurion seeds can also protect your main base from the flame wave. It cannot protect the towers, but it protects the main base, so it has some advantages against Gehennas and Shazzrah. I had a great time there. Garr I did with the same Thalnos comp as before. I didn't want to invent anything new for that. That Thalnos comp is just so strong there. Baron Geddon, I considered doing it with Rend. I haven't done Heroic with Rend yet. I only done it with Ragnaros and Sylvanas, but I did it with Ragnaros just so that I could easily get, I mean, why one-shot it, so I could easily get through that. And then the reason I was saving that Doomhammer was I wanted to use Doomhammer on Golemagg. Golemagg took a few tries, so the first 5 bosses were one-shots or a maximum of 1 wipe. I think 1 wipe was on Gehennas. And that's about it. And then Golemagg took me a few tries, but Doomhammer is a viable leader for that one. I still like Jaina the best. I still think Ragnaros is great there, but Doomhammer also definitely playable. Ragnaros took me quite some time. Yeah, I just couldn't find the cooperation with my partners over there. Just hard to send both sides and then the balance between defending and attacking. But I did it with Onu and I really enjoyed Onu overall in Ragnaros. I thought that was a lot of fun. So let's go take a look at all of these 7 kills and some Heroic Molten Core in action. So first up, Molten Core Heroic Lucifron with Anub'arak, and I have now ditched the Skeleton Party in favor of Whelpeks. Because Whelpeks, when you place them next to a Dominator, when the Dominator has the damage aura, it pops the eggs, but then the Whelps will start shooting at the Dominator. I distract the Dominator with something and then it goes really beautifully. So let's go start blasting a little bit. Here we start. Now I found the quill board that I can use for distraction there, and then the eggs, and they get popped immediately by the damage aura, but it only damages ground minis, so the whelps now have free reign and start shooting at the Dominator. So I really enjoyed doing that in this one. There is still the bug that in second phase and in third phase, the damage aura is actually around Lucifron itself and not around the Dominator. So then it works a little bit differently. But for this first phase, you can do fun things. Fun things here with the Whelpeks. There we go. 1 Dominator down with Whelpeks right there. Maybe I should have helped my partner with the other Dominator, but now our base is under some pressure, so I need to fight there a little bit. Alright, so far so good. And the other Dominator is also down, so base took quite a bit of damage. That wasn't a very strong opener, but it's okay, it's okay. And with Anub'arak and Maiev, this should overall be relatively simple. Just send something out there to fight against Fire Elemental. Huge battle going on for the left tower, but that's fine, it's perfectly fine. And we'll need to start getting some. Oh, the Fire Elemental is still alive. I need to save a little bit so that I can get another Anub'arak out there. My partner's helping me out. Alright, now we managed to break through. Good. Then let's get to work and blast that Lucifron. So I'm thinking about sending a tank out there. There's now a tank. And Lucifron's focused on that. Maiev has a Huntress in the army. That is novel. It will be good enough. I'm sure. So Anub'arak is still alive. We're getting a lot of attacks going on at Lucifron. There's beetles, there's skeletons, there's a little bit of tank, and first phase change. Try to save some gold for the phase change, so that when the phase change comes, you are able to do things immediately. Here what I want to do, I typically want to execute that rightmost, but now because they played minis out there, then so coordination on the open queues, of course, it is what it is. So I wasn't able to do the execute, and it's possible only on that side before the tower comes up, because they played minis that stopped the Dominator. So it was never far enough that I would be able to get things done. But now I'm sending a Quillbore out there to be dominated. That's important. And they are sending a Huntress to kill the Quillbore that was dominated, that was meant to survive as long as possible. Well, then it didn't survive as long as possible, but we're still able to push through. Alright, yeah. Let's go. Unfortunately, I think I am going to lose Anub'arak to that tower. I don't think I can kill the tower fast enough. Nope, doesn't look like it. But I was able to get a bunch of beetles out there, so tower should still go down quite nicely overall. Then I need to start saving some gold for another Anub'arak that we're going to use for the next assault wave. Also Huntress going in. Right. Huntress fighting against Lucifron. Need a couple of more hits. Now I'm trying to save a little bit. I don't want to play Anub'arak yet. I want to save a little bit of gold here. Try to get towards that phase change. Can we get the phase change, please? Yes, we can. That's wonderful. That is what I wanted. Then a little bit of defensive power. And some attackers. I'm trying to cycle towards my Quillbore here. Just sending the Quillbore. There we go. Wasn't an ideal position though. It's going to get beaten up. Yep, and then there was that Huntress coming too. Oh dear. And then I even managed to lose an Anub'arak. That wasn't intentional. Well, save some gold. Chill. Take it easy for the time being. There's some damage coming from Lucifron towards the base, but it's nothing too important. Nothing worrying yet. Just prevent those spiderlings and stuff from reaching the base. I don't want them to reach the base. That would be bad. And now we get rid of the Dominator. The base still has enough health left. But this is going to be fine. I mean, it's going to be a race here, obviously. Lucifron is going to keep shooting at the base, but the remaining health will be sufficient. Overtime is about to start. We're going to get more gold income. That means Anub'arak is coming. And then with Anub'arak, a lot of stuff now just starts attacking Lucifron. And yeah, it's gonna go down so fast here. Just checking that the fire elementals are not going to be a problem. A little bit more and we're going to have it. And pow pow and pow wow, and yeah, that was Lucifron. Then it's time to do Magmadar. Magmadar is the easiest boss on Heroic. You just drop Eclipse Starfall, boom boom. I'm doing it now with Ysera. And it's still the same army that I would always use otherwise. I figured that maybe those Ysera minis could help out, something like dropping some whelps out there. But it does have the downside of messing up a little bit with your Starfall cycle. Because then Starfall and Eclipse you might desync them so that you're not able to get Starfall after Eclipse anymore. Well, let's see, now they are in sync. This is the kind of position I want them to be in. And here we go. Boom and boom. We're just going to repeat this a few times. Thinking of playing those whelps. Although those whelps will again desync the damage spells. But it's gonna be okay. Let's just send a little bit of something out there. Maybe a bit of tanking power. Looks good. Looks fine. Oh, the Plague Farmer even getting the skeleton body down. Drop another Starfall. Also kills the Drake. What is there not to like? I did lose the tower. Managed to get some core hounds towards the tower, but it doesn't ultimately matter because we're just going to Starfall and Eclipse here. And Starfall and Eclipse. I mean, the other way around, Eclipse and Starfall. But anyway, getting ready to do it. And another round, pow, and beautiful. You can do this with any leader. I usually do this with Doomhammer. Doomhammer is so wonderful because of Magmadar. Cheap tank with Magmadar, it can just grab you some extra resources. Very, very useful here. I actually have a ghoul in this comp now, just because I don't have that Magmadar available. But Ysera is fine. Any leader is fine. But the only thing with Ysera really is that you have to pay attention that you don't desync your damage spells, so that you would be unable to use them. Because that would be bad. I saw that the phase change was about to come. I want to get a little bit of defensive power at tower. And then we be blasting again. More gold is coming. That Drake is not a risk to the base. The base will easily be able to kill it, so I don't have to spend a mini on it. And send out some stuff, and then we're about to send out another Starfall soon. There we go with the Eclipse, and yeah, my partner is handling defense on his side. That's good. And yeah, that's Starfall. Now I'm dropping some whelps too. Just a little bit of additional damage, and Magmadar goes down. While Heroic Magmadar is easy, then Heroic Gehennas and Shazzrah is actually quite challenging. For this one, the real key that I found typically is that you want to sneak past Shazzrah. So you want to sneak past the blue one, you want to kill the red one first, then you want to kill the blue one. I have also done this the other way around. I have fought against the blue one, killed that. That can be done too, but typically if you manage to sneak past, it's better. And those Elite Flamewakers, they have so much health in this one, which means that if you're not close to getting the kill on them, then just don't spend resources there. As you can see, they will wipe the tower on that side, and they will wipe half of the central lane. But Malfurion seeds can protect from those, so that is possible. So I just allowed that to happen, and then I started sending stuff now at Gehennas. We're sneaking past the Shazzrah. Were those actually footmen? I think they were footmen indeed. So what I would want to do now is I would love if I had some kind of distraction on that Shazzrah. So can I get enough gold to get the Quillbore out there before Shazzrah starts shooting? My second Molten Giant was a little bit too close. Gehennas has a board wipe at 65%. And I was hoping that I would be able to get the other Molten Giant out there right after the wipe has happened. But I wasn't able to time it properly. And there, as you can see, the base, the seeds, looking good. So that side, I don't think we will be able to handle that side. I'm trying to get some help out there, but I don't think that's going to work out. Yeah, it looks like this side is doomed. There is definitely going to be an Elite Flamewaker, and there won't be enough resources to kill it. That's what I believe is going to happen. So what I want to do is I want to attack from the right after that one goes off. I won't be able to stop it anyway, but I will be able to attack Gehennas on the right side. Even if there's an Elite Flamewaker, I will be able to fight against it. And if there's not, then all the better. And here we go. Now we just need a distraction for Shazzrah, so Shazzrah doesn't come in here and interfere too early. There. That one went well. And now Gehennas. We just need that Gehennas to die. Please die, Gehennas. To be so kind. Gehennas is down. And this one is now basically won. There's no more Elite Flamewakers. Only Shazzrah left. Once we get Shazzrah to 50%, Shazzrah is going to blink to the top of the map. And then there's going to be Swole Trolls coming on regular basis. But that's not scary. That's going to be totally fine. My partner's choice of footmen and necromancers and stuff isn't very strong, I think, overall for this map. But it's okay, because I'm bringing some giants. And I mean, Arthas is naturally powerful. Anyway, so here we can now see some of these Swole Trolls coming, now that Shazzrah has blinked, and they're on a timer, so new Swole Trolls pairs of Swole Trolls are going to keep spawning. And Arthas is doing well there, as we can see. So usually I would take the center tower here. Now I'm a little bit wondering whether I have to, or if I could just go ahead and attack Shazzrah with everything I've got. And I figured maybe I'll just try to get to Shazzrah here. Another pair of Swole Trolls, as you can see, but Shazzrah is already going down. Next up, we're up against Heroic Garr. Now I actually checked, I had one wipe on Garr, I had one wipe on Gehennas. And that's all the wipes I've had so far in the first 4 bosses. But here we go against Garr again. This time partnering with another Blood Mage Thalnos, and I do like Thalnos so much in this one. Thalnos it's just wonderful. They're going with a bit of a different plan than I am, it seems, because I have all of these cycle minis, and then I have 1 or 2 Thalnoses in addition to those. But they are going all in on that Thalnos. They're just leveling up Thalnos, getting under Thalnos. So a bit of a different plan. I don't like that plan as much, because I think Thalnos is still a little bit fragile, even when you level it up. Like you see there, level 32 Thalnos still got killed. So I highly prefer to have healers, and especially stuff like Witch Doctor, which is just going to nullify all sorts of explosions. So I do prefer this cycle style plan, but my partner apparently is going all in on the power of that Thalnos. As you can see, lifesteal on Thalnos is working. But there are quite a few elementals to handle there. Now Thalnos is already 35, so it's getting huge. Meanwhile, my Thalnos is only 30. 36 on that side. And now it's just bit of a different style, bit of a different plan. But Thalnos is a versatile hero and gains all those levels, and overall tremendously fun hero, especially for this map. Also because in Heroic you really want to push both sides. That's very important to do in the Heroic version, because defending is so much harder with all of the rubble coming out of those elementals and just running towards your base. So if you just defend close to your base, it's really hard to prevent them from connecting, and then they chip a little bit of damage in and chip a little bit of damage in, and ultimately your base is going to be in so much trouble. So now that we're closing in on Garr, there are some opportunities to do this with a single push with Cheat Death. But the timing is very tight, and I don't like it. I just highly prefer to do 2 attacks. This time our first attack was actually a little bit too powerful. Ideally, your first attack pushes 1 phase, and you don't push all the way to phase 3. Because now we pushed all the way to phase 3, and phase 3 means that earthquake on your base. So now my base is going to take damage all the time. Which means that it's a race. Now we're up against the clock, which we wouldn't be if we had only pushed 1 phase earlier. But with these Thalnoses we should be able to beat the clock. I don't think it's going to be a huge problem. Oh, here we go, here we go. I'm a little worried about the Thalnos on the left side. Oh dear. Oh, that hole in Nova. I'm going to try to help it out a little bit with some execution. Alright. Made it. I could give them a witch doctor. That would actually make a lot of sense. Would protect the Thalnos a little bit. Maybe I should have spent a little bit more on that side. On the other hand, they are sending stuff on my side now. Hey, I thought your side was the one that needed help. Well, let's see. Getting a bit of cheat death in here. No, I mean, smoke bomb. They did put a cheat death in here as well, though. And I should have executed Garr instead of giving bloodlust to my minis. Would have already won. Well, we still did win, so okay, that's fine. And then Baron Geddon. I just went with the Ragnaros build into Baron Geddon, because Ragnaros is super strong. You can almost like carry people. Well, you potentially can even carry people with Ragnaros to Baron Geddon. So I just wanted to go in with Ragnaros, get this over with, get to the next ones. And here we go. And my partner brought Banshee. I didn't have a Banshee in the Ragnaros build, but they stole the Fire Elemental instead of stealing the Molten Giant. I mean, stealing the Molten Giant is actually really super good. But I guess you can steal Fire Elemental too. Anyway, took a bit of a beating from the Giant plus the Gargoyle. But Ragnaros is still fine overall. It's getting healed, it's getting some levels. Those Fire Elementals, they're just getting healed real quickly. It's Gargoyles that deal a bit more damage. I don't have a Shaman that would give Ragnaros armored here. So, slightly more vulnerable against the Gargoyles. But either way, here we go. With Ragnaros, you don't theoretically need any towers. You can just play close defense and then attack once you're ready. Once Ragnaros is like 35-ish, 36-ish, something like that. So that it's going to be able to handle the defense. But if you can take some towers, then it will of course alleviate some of the pressure on Ragnaros and make life a little bit easier. Oh, here we go. I still want to keep leveling up the Rag, so I don't really want to attack yet. My partner is sending a level 25 meat wagon to shoot at Baron Geddon, as well as a level 26 Gargoyle. I think that is a little bit hasty, given that Ragnaros is still being leveled up and it's only 32 at the moment. But now I have to decide, okay, Geddon is taking quite a bit of damage, and my partner seems very committed to this. So I can either go with this, or I can hope that they won't be able to push a phase, and then I will have more time to level up Ragnaros. And I decide, okay, I'm going to go in with this, I'm going to believe, and then, because obviously it was in the wrong place, if you wanted to kill it there on the left side, you wanted to tank it in a much lower, so you would have time to do all phases on the left side. But now, because of the way it went, my plan here was to get one phase done on the left side, then one or two phases at the top, and optionally the final phase on the right side. So we'll see how this goes now. Sending out the Gargoyle to get the second phase on the top. We have been able to defend the towers quite well, so life looks good, but obviously there is now the tornado moving around the map, which is going to make life more difficult. Second phase is about to be over. Yes, third phase begins. Another tornado appears. And here I actually maybe misevaluated this a little bit, because as you can see, the Gargoyle got caught in the tornado and it takes too much damage. Now I lost the Gargoyle. So How do I need to do that? Maybe I needed to wait with the gargoyle a little while longer. Yeah, I could have probably waited a little while longer and then send it. Maybe send something to keep Geddon in place for a little while. And then the alternative, of course, is that I'm going to send the gargoyle once Geddon is on the right side. And that looks like what's going to happen now, but there's a lot of vultures and all sorts of stuff coming. And that might be a problem. Also, there's that there's that other tornado going there. So we have a few issues here. But overall it shouldn't be that bad. I think this is still going to be perfectly doable. Ragnaros did manage to get just enough levels, barely enough levels. And my partner has done a pretty good job defending, to be honest. So we should be able to get this now. I'm just trying to think, how do I send? I need to send another gargoyle maybe, especially with the vultures coming in. Vultures might be able to damage the first gargoyle enough. And well, anyway, wasn't the cleanest of kills, but still a pretty good one. Ragnaros is just very, very strong in this fight. And then we're up against Golemagg with Doomhammer. Doomhammer has the advantage that wellpegs deal extra damage on their first hit when you're playing with Doomhammer, so you have some of that DPS going on. So with Doomhammer here, I'm not trying to do a Starfall plan. I'm trying to deal damage dealers are wellpegs, and optional the Ritual of Rhyme Skeleton Party. And then I have Quillbore to tank. So I can drop eggs, Golemagg pops the eggs, I drop Quillbore on the other side, and then I drop Skeleton Party somewhere, so that it won't get hit immediately. And that's like my damage comp. That's going to deal all the damage I need against Golemagg itself. And everything else, Doomhammer, Plague Farmer, Troll, all of these, their main purpose is defensive. I'm going to try to use them to beat anything that Golemagg will send at me. And I do like the Ritual of Rhyme Skeleton Party a lot in this fight. I tested this rather extensively the first time this fight was available, and I just had a much higher win rate when there was a Ritual of Rhyme Skeleton Party in one of the armies. It doesn't have to be in both of the armies, but one of the players has to have it. So my partner has Jaina with like Mountaineer and Spiderlings and... Okay. That is somewhat curious things. I think there could be stronger compositions available for Jaina. But let's see what we can do with this. First I'm looking to stabilize. Oh dear, that Earth Elemental came at a very inopportune time. Anyway, let's see. The purpose of the Troll here is largely to kill the Drakes. Troll is very, very good at killing those Drakes. I think I could use a second set of skeleton bodies. Yeah, that's what I that's what I realized at this point. That okay, second set of skeleton bodies. They have a gargoyle in the Jaina comp. A pretty curious Jaina comp overall. Now that I have got a little bit of a feel on okay what my Jaina partner is doing, now I'm starting to send these eggs. Because I have come to the conclusion this Jaina comp is unlikely to be able to deal a lot of damage, actually. Because they seem very low on things that actually do something. But they might be able to put up some good defenses here still. Maybe. And I think they have some spells as well. Blizzard Execute, is that what they have? A little uncertain. But either way, they have a Chimera. Okay. Well. Puffs and puffs, and here we go. We have a tower. We don't really need a tower for anything though. I would much, much rather be able to get some damage. those Core Rager charge routes are sometimes interesting. They just charge right past the base. So Molten Giants have started appearing. Molten Giants appear on a timer. There's nothing you can do about them. They appear at set intervals. It takes quite a long time before the first one comes, but then when they start coming, they just start coming. There's nothing you can do. However, the core hounds are going to start getting summoned after you get through the first phase. So it's actually pretty good that we haven't done a phase change yet, because otherwise we would already have core hounds coming as well. And now we have those giants. Because I'm not super convinced about my partner's unit composition. It seems a little bit fragile. Like tons of elemental damage here, and they have spiderlings, so... Oh dear. Yeah, there's definitely a blizzard. Noticed that some whelps had been released. Because those mother drakes, of course, they just get so many whelps out there. My miner just manages to get out there. It's fun because even the core rager only has single target attack. So you're actually able to mine while you're fighting against the core. It's like miner is just digging a hole while a core rager is fighting like 30 centimeters away. Something, but... Here we go. Now the first phase change, and this means there, the first core hounds spawn. So now core hounds will start coming. And a bit of a question mark here is, if Jaina doesn't have a lot of damage, then will we have enough damage to kill Golemagg in time? But Jaina has at least Blizzard, and I think they brought an Execute. So Execute Blizzard, I think that's actually a pretty decent amount of damage. They haven't done damage to the boss so far, at least not much. But they have the potential to do some in the future, regardless. Whoa, that's a big fight on the left, and I love the Plague Farmer in these big encounters. That splash damage, it hits the tank and then it hits the back line. Ever since they buffed the talent to give it more radius, then Plague Farmer just annihilates all the backlines too. And that makes it so incredibly good. Obviously only hits ground minis, but still. I want those to start shooting, and then we're going to go for Magmadar. Alright, it's overtime, and we have 3 phases to go, so actually now we have to start hurrying up. There won't be much time left, but here I get to do the full damage combo now that it's overtime. Well pegs plus rhyme skeletons, and boom! We're getting through a phase. I didn't get to see if my partner spent something there. I thought maybe they spent the blizzard, but apparently different another blizzard. Then I need to wait a little bit though, because I have to wait out that little period when there's the burn going on, and then just cycle. Let's cycle as effectively as we can, so that we can get another army out there. Pop the eggs, please. Yes, then I will send, and now I should send the skeletons. Send the skellies. Too much defenses. I could have just sent the skellies. Well, it turned out fine. My partner probably did something there. And one more phase left, and we have enough time. It looks like we have enough time here. So I'm just waiting a little bit. Then, when the burn goes away, pop the eggs open, please. Now it only hits one egg, because there was the safe pilot where it used the AoE attack. But now I'm just sending. Sending all sorts of things. Damage, more damage. And we'll get through. Boom. And finally, Heroic Ragnaros. I struggled with this one, I have to say, because you would need players to send armies to both sides. You would want to kill the elite Flamewakers at roughly the same time, because in 10 seconds they resurrect each other. And then, once you have killed those, then you can start attacking Executors. And spells are going to be countered. You cannot cast a spell until you have killed the elite Flamewakers. And then they respawn at the final phase, so then spells are going to be away for a while again. But... so... first of all, you don't want both players to send their stuff at the same side, That's one thing that happens. Then some people just use Vorgens and things to immediately kill Executus while the Flamewakers are still alive. And that's also kind of tricky. So here we killed that one. I was hoping that the Dragisats would be there in time. Was I wrong? Was I wrong? Was I wrong? Was I wrong? Phew. Okay, that was a pretty close one. I felt like I had to reinforce my push on the left, that if I don't, I just won't be able to kill that Elite Flamewaker at all. And then I hoped that the Dragisat would get there in time. And that actually went really well in the end. Now that Dragisat plus Shaman combo sadly was never going to live because there's going to be this flame wave coming. And then after the flame wave has passed, if you have Whelpex, you can drop Whelpex out there. I was a little late there, sorry. I spent a little bit too much time thinking about my Onu. Because I should have played the Safe Pilot earlier. You can use Safe Pilot to prevent the tower from being rebuilt. If you have Whelpex, if you can get to play them before the flame wave arrives, then the Whelps won't be hit by the flame wave, but the X will be popped. So that's one way to hold on to the towers. You want to use those kinds of things if you don't have a Sneed partner. If you have a Sneed partner, then you kind of want the gold from having a Siege mini take the towers. So then life's a little bit different. Anyway, we have gotten through Executus. And then the next thing I want to do here is I want to use Onu to play Onu next to Ragnaros. And if I play Onus there and I make them resistant with the Fair Dragon, then I'm just able to keep the Onu train rolling, so that I will always have an Onu there. The Onus just won't die. Well, individual Onus will die. But overall, from here, there's going to be an Onu at this Ragnaros. It just is going to be there. So what I would want to see here from my partner would probably be to defend. Because I'm pretty busy cycling, so that I will be able to get another Onu out there. Obviously, this time my partner with the Dragisat was also able to attack, because the Dragisat was doing really well there. And now there's another Dragisat. And if you see an Onu out there, don't play too many minis. Because if you play a whole bunch of minis right next to the Onu, then they're just going to end up being living bombed. Or if you play minis that really don't belong there, like you don't play Malfurion next to a Ragnaros, you don't play Sneed next to a Ragnaros, they have a different role to play. Then that's obviously not something you drop there even though there's an Onu. But we got through that phase really cleanly. And now when Ragnaros submerges, there's going to be the super burn around him, as you can see all those flames, so all the minis there will die. You cannot keep any of them up, that's impossible. But now we're going to fight against the suns, and once all the suns are dead, Ragnaros is going to emerge, and there's going to be the meteors, and there's going to be the flame wave, and that's going to be inevitable. So don't spend ground minis to a position where they will just die to the flame wave. Now I can see that Dragisat is going to kill the sun soon, so I'm just waiting a little bit with the Onu. Now I really want to play it because I saw that the Core Hound was coming. That Dragisat sadly is now in a very wrong place because the flame wave is coming. But it's okay, it's okay. Now I was a little bit slow again. Actually just in time. Barely, but still. Good enough, good enough. So the next thing I would want to happen would be that we would get the towers, at least the bottom towers, maybe some kind of attack going on to the top towers, and then another Onu set right at Ragnaros, and then those Onus, and then just infinite stuff coming from the Onus. Because the Onus will not die. It's impossible for the Onus to die there. When they're resistant, I have enough time to cycle, especially once we hit overtime. So if I can get an Onu there a little bit before overtime, that's probably ideal. And I'm trying to get them here. I'm trying to position this. Have the arrow pointed towards the left and Onu coming from the right side. That is the right approach to give it the best chance to get into a position where you can use that Onu to drop another Onu there. You can also do it on the left side. If you do it on the left side, you want to send it from the on the right side. If you do it on the right side, you want to send it from the right tower on the left side of the deployment zone. So then you can drop it over there. But now we have everything we need in place. We have Dragisats going on attack, so we're not under any threat. Everything's looking really good in that regard. And then we can just get Onu there. My Dragisat partner also sent Dragisat. One Dragisat is probably correct. You don't want to send a ton of minis there so that you won't get living bombed all the time. But Dragisat does give resist to everything around it, so it has some strength. It has some strengths there. Although I'm also using the Fairy Dragons here. So now this is actually a little bit tricky, because I'm not sure if I can cycle fast enough. I was just barely able to cycle fast enough. But now there's going to be the phase change, and who is going to defend against the sun? And it appears that no one is going to defend against the sun. I would really love to send the gargoyle there, but now I'm thinking, okay, I can't defend. My partner is not defending. Onu is about to die. I have to send stuff out there before Onu dies. Onu cannot die too soon, and we're actually able to just raise it. I would usually want to see a little bit of defenses, but hey, if it works, it works. So that was Heroic Molten Core in July 2025. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.